something a little different. This is going to be a video on using vintage 90s cooking things to make myself an oven stuffer chicken or a rotisserie chicken. Here in America, where Jesus lives, we used to have this dude called Ronco, and he would sell pretty much everything on those old television ads. And this is the Ronco Set It and Forget It Rotisserie and Barbecue. Now this thing comes with more attachments than a Dyson vacuum cleaner. The main thing I use it for is the rotisserie spigot thing. And it has a simple timer, heat or no heat. That's it. You set it and forget it. And then I'll cut to it being back in there. So I'm back. Had this thing of cooking twine since the 70s. Don't ask. Once you get your bird skewered, you put this thing back on here. Okay, so I couldn't do all that one-handed there. Now, this puppy sits it perfectly between my electric burners. We just close this. Ain't no fancy safety or nothing. It just says hot. Don't touch that. Now, 7 pounds, 15 minutes, so it's gonna go like that. And turn the timer on, you'll see the rotisserie starts. There's no heat yet. And then we leave it normal and watch all my string fall off. And in the back there, you're gonna see an element start to get hot. You can pause it if you wanna crispy up the side, the element on the back, and just leave her on, or you can leave it on no heat rotation. All the juices will collect in the pan, and you can make some gravy out of it if you want to. So I'm gonna let this roll. We're gonna check back in a little bit, see how it's cooking. This light will stay on all the time, by the way. Rolling for a couple minutes, you can see the element in the back there heating up. And it'll start to slowly cook this bird, and her legs are gonna flop around like she owes somebody money, but it'll do some funky movements until, you can see she's moving, until that meat starts to cook. And it's gonna take a while. Based on this calculation of 7 pounds, that's about 1.75 hours. She got a little bit of junk in her trunk. That's a good thing for me. So we're gonna set it and forget it, and I'm gonna check back in a little bit when we start to get some crispiness. All right, so we're 15 minutes in. Element is nice and hot, starting to cook. She's still getting jiggy with it there. Yeah, so we have an hour and 45 left. Somebody else wants some chicken too. So we're 30 minutes in on the cook job. 1.5 remaining, and she's at least stopped moving all around. I added some water to this pan. It's dripping like mad. We can get some steam action going here. She's hot, and hot on top too. Approaching 1 hour in the cooker now, and starting to brown up nicely. I'm gonna do an internal temperature check to see where we're at. And how you would do that is you would just say pause, open up the lid, not to burn yourself, give yourself a stab, and let's see where we're at. Got to be 165 degrees Fahrenheit to be done, and I know it's not. Now this thing is searing in the back, so yeah, it ain't done. It's barely 140. So we hit the button again. Boom. Let her rotate again. That glass is super hot. Use the handle. And she's really dripping now, coming out of her stab wound. We'll let it continue so it gets to probably 170. I like a good crispy skin on there too. Dip that bad boy in some gravy we're gonna make in just a minute. And since we're on the Ronco thing, I fired up my old Razor phone here from the 90s and maybe early 2000s yet. Early 2000s. She still works, emergency calls only, holding the right time. Kind of neat. Battery's charging and everything. 1 hour, 15 minutes. I took the drip tray out to rinse it off over there, and yep. That way all the juice drippings, I added a little bit of water to this in the beginning, can then make me some good gravy junk, and I'll boil all that and filter all the goop out. But yeah, it's gonna be awesome. About 40 minutes left. Do another temperature check real quick. Pause it. I did poke a bunch of holes in there when I was checking temperatures here. We were at 140 before, and it is now. Upside down. And just creeping over maybe 150 degrees, we got me to 165. So she's still not ready. Unpause it here and let that thing roll around. Habitually, I grab this and burn myself every time. Gotta use these little handles. Just close her up. All right, so there we go. We are at 170 and climbing. And I pulled the grate out of here so I could, you know, let it do its thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and you can run this with no heat. This will turn the element off in the back. It'll start to cool down a little bit. We can let any residual drips go or whatever. To remove this, take this end, because this is the end that falls off. Take this end, I put it over a plate sideways and just pull it out, which is what I'm gonna do. Let it cool for a little bit. I'm gonna use this to dump in there with some chicken bouillon, make some mashed potatoes in that one, and we'll get this gravy going. So once this is done, this will auto turn off when this goes to off. If I was to have this on heat with the light on, once this went to off, it shuts everything off, stops the rotation, and you're good to go. I'm gonna leave this door open for a minute to cool, and I can't film and do two-handed things on this camera at the same time. So let me get this out and something. Nope, I didn't film anything else, but I made gravy. How did I make gravy? I put some garlic, the chicken drippings. What is that? Not that. And I used that powdered crap, that stuff, to just give the chicken juice some flavor. Toss in a couple chicken bouillon cubes. Yes, you can use poultry gravy. I don't like poultry gravy, it's too weak. My gravy is a food group. She's as thick as Shakira's thighs. You can eat off that bad boy. It's good. I thinned it out with water because it was too thick. Normally, if the spoon can stand up in it, that's good for me. These are just some, yeah, it's falling. These are just some potatoes. Instant, don't care. And I'm gonna cut that bad boy up in just a second. Normally, I have one of those fancy electric knives, but my wife decided to move it because she didn't like it sitting in its box. So I don't know where the hell it is now. Found it in the I hate this drawer of plastic crap. I'm sure you guys all have one too. If you don't start one. So here's my JCPenney electric carving knife I've had for the past 20 or 30 years. And yeah, you can get yours too. JCPenney's still around, and I don't know how much it costs. 120 bucks. Well, let me chop this bad boy up. All right, the ultimate test. Nice and moist. Hotter than hell. Maybe I should use a, nope, dipper in the gravy. Oh yeah. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the Ronco Showtime rotisserie and barbecue. I don't know what's so barbecue about it. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I'm gonna go eat this. I'll be thinking about you though. Enjoy.